So, Radio Winchcombe, it's time for my next guest. Probably one of the most complex characters in Bad Girl, it's fair to say. Let's say hello to the wonderful Tracey Wilkinson as Di Barker. Hello.
Hello there, Lewis.
So, I mean, it is fair to say that Di Barker was quite a complex character, wasn't she?
She was indeed, yes. I mean, she was, she kind of had lots and lots of obsessions throughout the years, really. Mostly with men, one would say.
There was quite a few.
Yes, there was. Even from, like, I think the second series, or the end of the end of my first series, which was the end of the second series. I think one of the last shots in the last episode was just a picture of Di Barker's mirror with what's his character called, Josh, played by Joe Shaw, as a complete kind of Dominic, I think,
Dominic McAllister.
A complete, yeah, that's right,
Yeah.
Dominic. Completely obsessed in a kind of mirror plastered with pictures of him and a wardrobe full of hearts and all kinds of madness going on.
I mean, I'd love to ask you.
So,
because,
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
when Di first come into the show, she was actually quite a really nice character that really cared about the inmates. And I thought, oh, she's going to be like a really cool character. And then it was only through later that series we realised she had quite a few issues. So was it always the intention with the writers to show that dark side of Di, or was it later added in?
That was kind of my fault, really. I told, oops, what I kind of kept on thinking was that for the first few episodes, all I did was kind of open and close prison doors and go, rightio a lot, rightio. I told the producers one lunchtime about a prank that I played on a friend of mine that involved, I won't go into the details, but it involved kind of pretending to be a stalker. And I told this story to the producers over one lunchtime, and then about 4 episodes later, she was.
Wow.
So it's all my fault, really.
But, do you know, it worked, though. It really did, because, I mean, it gave the character longevity. She was in a lot of series, and she went through different kind of phases with men. Of course, we had the Mr. Grayling. She would do anything for a baby with Mr. Grayling. Didn't matter that he was gay. She just wanted to have the baby. We had Jim Fenner. She would do anything for Jim Fenner. Then she turned nasty against him. We had Josh. She didn't like Josh and Crystal being together, so she split them up.
No.
Dominic McAllister. The list goes on. So do you have a favourite other half, would you say?
I have to say that my two favourite other halves were Jack and James. As Jim and Neil, the storylines were so kind of bizarre and so intricate that it was a joy to kind of get your teeth around them with both of those people. It was great fun. I mean, Jack was there for my whole kind of beating up my mother storyline, and I mean, James and I just had lots and lots of laughs, being him being gay and me really denying it. And of course, interestingly, last year James and I were actually reunited as husband and wife on Casualty, where we played Chelsea Halfpenny's parents. And funnily enough, he was gay in that as well.
They must have got the inspiration from Bad Girls.
Quite probably, I would have thought.
Now, I would love to know your thoughts on this, because for me, watching it, Di Barker, one of the greatest characters in the show. So we never knew what actually happened to her. It's like Series 8, they had just completely forgotten that she even existed. So what are your thoughts on that? Because you're watching it 1 minute and she's in prison. The next episode, you're like, oh, okay, she's just gone. There's no mention of her. That was just
it's a bit tricky, really, when you think about it, because she was in prison on G-Wing with the people that she was kind of a prison warder for. And where could you really go with that? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She would have had to have been transferred out of the prison, obviously. I mean, she shouldn't even have been in remand on G-Wing anyway. So I think unless you kind of had a spectacular suicide, you sort of, you couldn't really, where do you go with that? It's really hard to kind of fathom, I think. And I'm glad I didn't die. She's rotting away somewhere in a prison, presumably.
No one knows where, but she is out there.
No one
somewhere.
knows where. And so sort of one day in some obscure television program, Di Barker will emerge through the prison doors.
I mean, it was like that series. It was like they kind of forgot about all characters. Mr. Grayling died in an office in the first episode. It's like, right, yeah, we're going to bring you in. You're going to die, all over and done with. And it went very far-fetched, some of the storylines. And it's fair to say that you were involved in the biggest series with the highest rating. So do you have a favourite standout moment or a favourite episode that's something that you always kind of have fond memories of?
Oh, I can't say that I've got a favourite episode. I mean, there are sort of, in the early days of filming, I had some really nice times with Alicia, who played Denny. But my favourite storyline is absolutely Di trying to get pregnant and getting pregnant and then getting pregnant with her husband's gay lover's sperm, I think it was.
It was, yes.
and then getting pregnant, then having an abortion, but pretending she was still pregnant, and then pretending that she had a miscarriage. That was by far the kind of craziest craziest storyline, but the most memorable and the most fun to do, because it was, you kind of get a script every week and go, really? Oh, okay. I'll do that then.
I've asked that to a lot of the cast. I've said, when you read the scripts, do you ever think, oh, for goodness sake, I can't do that? Because I spoke to Kika about the scene that she had to do where she tried to get pregnant and had a yogurt pot in. She was trying to collect sperm from, and she said, I read that script, and she just said, I thought, for goodness sake, I'm not doing that. That must have been the same for you, when they give you some of the storylines. You're like, really? Are we going there?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the eyebrows would shoot up every week, and I'd kind of go, well, this will be interesting then. And it is interesting, because the challenge is to actually make it believable drama, and people did believe it and were hooked. So that was the fun and the excitement of it. You kind of go, right, well, I'll do that.
So as an actress, what was more, because I mean, Di really was the Jekyll and Hyde of the show. So what was more enjoyable, the nice, lovely Di, or the twisted, sinister Di? As an actress, what was more enjoyable to play?
Oh gosh, that's really hard. Something that Vicky said to me, Vicky Alcock, which is kind of what I liked about Di, is that she said it was really interesting. You could just see the eyes start to turn. Something would happen in the eyes when nice Di kind of just had an idea, and it was an evil one, And I think for me, it's the turning point. It's the kind of, the turning point from Jekyll to Hyde that made me kind of go, ooh, this is good. So neither. They're both equally. I enjoy playing both equally. I'm sorry if that sounds banal, but it's true. It's true. She was a whole person, and I liked the person that I was.
It was one of the episodes I liked, which was Sylvia's Hollyby wedding. I don't know if it was like an anniversary of some kind, and Di was trying to make a move on Dominic McAllister, and she's dancing in front of him. He's clearly uncomfortable. She's just given it the best dance moves going to try and seduce Dominic McAllister.
I remember that frock. Yeah,
you had some good dance moves.
Yeah, and that was the whole thing as well. Was designed for, if I remember rightly, the strap on my very, very, very micro mini dress had to snap while I was doing the dance with Dominic, and so a lot of the dance moves were kind of designed so that I could get free of that strap, because it was very precariously sort of tacked to the top of my dress. And so I had to kind of incorporate a dance move that made that strap break.
So what's next for you now? Are you working on any upcoming projects that you can tell us about?
Yes. I've just finished filming in Prague for an 8-part series for Amazon Prime called Carnival Row, which stars Orlando Bloom and Cara Delevingne. So that was a joy to do, a very star-studded cast, and, a nice time in Prague. Although it was minus 18 some nights that we were filming, so that was a bit nippy. And that shall come out next year, at the beginning of the year next year. And I'm just about to do a play in London called Spiral at the Park Theatre in Finsbury Park in August. So, all good.
Well, when you were filming the film there, did any of the cast think, oh, here we go? I remember from Bad Girls, she's going to have the hots for me now. Did any of them kind of think that? Were they like, oh, here we go?
God, no! Absolutely not.
Honestly, it's been amazing chatting to you. I'm so happy that you've taken part in the show because Di, I mean, you were in the show for such a long time. You had series 2 to series 7, and she played one of the craziest but most lovable characters. So thank you so much for taking part.
She was fun. And thank you, Liz. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Thanks a lot now.
Bye.